Tim here from the Whiskey Geeks. It's 2025. Let's review some new whiskeys that we picked up over the last few months, shall we? Da, 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 da. Look at this beauty. I've been doing a lot of work on this and I've given a lot of this away because I really like it. So first on the docket for 2025 in the reviews here on ye old YouTube channel, etc., is this wonderful new independent bottler from right here in Canada. There's been a big wave of independent bottlers come out, and these lovely chaps are from Canada. One of them lives in my hometown of London, Ontario. So what have we got in the bottle? This is a absolutely gorgeous Canadian single malt whiskey, distilled at Stillwater's Distillery. It is a 9-year-old single malt whiskey. It spent 8 years and 9 months in a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. And what did these lovely guys do? They decided we should probably pick a different kind of wood to finish this. So they picked up oh man, I'm gonna get it wrong. Amburana Barrel, which is a Brazilian oak normally used for aging, I think it's cachaça. I probably said that wrong, which is a sugarcane liqueur similar to rum. That's the most popular liqueur in Brazil. So these fine chaps picked up an Amburana Barrel and decided to finish it. So they did a 3-month finish in Amburana. As far as I know, this is the first Canadian single malt whiskey to ever go through the Amburana treatment. There are some bourbons out there that you can get with Amburana finish. I don't know if there's any scotches, but for Canadian whiskey, this is the first of its kind. And as you can see, the color on it is absolutely gorgeous. So whiskey for us, the company Spirit for us. There are still some bottles of this available. I think it was bottled by Last Straw Distillery, so you can actually pick up a bottle there. But 55% ABV. There's only 187 bottles of this made. So like I said, there's a couple of them left. You should go and get it. But let's actually have a little smell on a taste and see what we think. Oh, brand new whiskey caps, by the way. Check that out, Whiskey Geeks on there. It's a tight fit. You can even do this and the whiskey won't fall out. And then underneath, ooh, isn't that fancy? You can reach out and you can buy some of these for your next whiskey tasting. Why not? So right away on this whiskey, lovely Canadian single malt. I do get a bit of florals and vanillas as well. It's nice and light. It's sweet. It's airy. Some spiciness to it too. But as you go in for the taste, this is where it really shines for me. Immediately, it's super spicy, mainly cinnamon. It's like cinnamon hearts in a glass, this thing. It's really, really interesting. It's really cool. It's really fun. You also get, your vanillas and your standard kind of bourbon, Kentucky bourbon aged barrel single malt whiskeys. You get a lot of those vanilla notes. You get some fruitiness to it, not heavy fruits like, red berries or anything like you would get in a sherry cask. But it's super spicy. The 55% is there, but it's not overly powerful by any means. But again, the cinnamon, the finish on this is super long to really, really cinnamon heavy. Let's see what the tasting notes say on the bottle. Cinnamon, baking spices, cedar, ginger, and vanilla on the nose. You definitely do get some cedar as well. On the palate, cinnamon candies, nutmeg, winter spices, ginger, some cedar, lemon zest, hints of vanilla with a friendly Canadian cinnamon hug. Oh, that's so cute. It's a winter day here as I'm recording this. It's snowing, it's typical Canadian stuff. So I figured why not review a nice Canadian whiskey? Again, perfect for the winter months. I will say I don't think this is necessarily for everybody. I've had some people try it and they say it's just not for me. It's a little bit too cinnamon heart heavy, too sweet, not really what I'm looking for in a whiskey. But for me and my palate, great job. I really like this whiskey. I think it's fantastic. If you're interested in something different, I think you should give this a shot. Personally, I think it's great. I think it was about $130, $150 here in Canada. I could be wrong. I probably should know that. You know what? Check the description of the video. I'll put the price and the link to it so you can buy it there. But whiskey for us by these gents. Spirit for us. Single malt. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Canadian single malt whiskey. You can see there 55%. An outrun of 187 bottles. Distilled in 2015. Bottled 2024. Great job, Stillwater's Distillery. Great job, whiskey for us. Really interesting use of Amburana wood. It gives it a nice something different. And me personally, I like different and weird in my whiskeys these days. So hey, anytime you can get a single malt whiskey at 55% with an interesting finish, I'm here for it. If I was to give this a rating, I would put this at a solid 8, maybe even an 8.5, just because of my palate. I'm looking for and enjoying stronger whiskeys that have weird finishes. Again, I don't think it's for everybody, but if cinnamon hearts are your thing, or you like cinnamon candies, the hot lips, if that's your thing, definitely go buy a bottle of this. Check the link below. Tim from the Whiskey Geeks here. First review of 2025 in the books. Please keep checking it back. We're gonna have more coming in the next couple of weeks. And you can follow me on Patreon as well, because I release these early there, as well as some other goodies. So, from the Whiskey Geeks, Tim here, raise a glass, happy 2025, and remember, Scotch and stories, they belong together. Cheers!